All right. Yep.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's the Echo Chamber. We're here to have some good conversation tonight about a lot of
Ego.
the,
Yep. Yep.
about a lot
Oh,
of the things that's going on in our world today. I'm here with myself, you and Dill Casper, John, the Family Man, or I don't know what name he's being called tonight.
Now we keeping it with the family, man. This ain't a joking matter right now.
All right, we got the Family Man, Righteous 119, and
yeah.
we got special guests tonight, Chris Moses, aka Super. We out here. So I guess I'm gonna turn it over to you, John, and let's get it started.
It's good, gentlemen. All right. Listen. Um, I'm sure we all, can see what's going on in the current state of this world and this country. Um, we're going to get to the events that took place, but what I really wanted to touch on first was the response, because when I heard that the NBA players walked out, that was real interesting to me, because in today's day and age, our celebrities, our athletes, people that have a platform, they don't always take the time or take their opportunity to use it. We've had numerous, activists within, our community, like, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars of the world, the Muhammad Ali's of the world, even musicians like Sam Cooke. But the first question that I have for you, gentlemen, is what do you believe the role is of our celebrities and our athletes, those that have a platform, and is it their responsibility to do things like we're currently seeing right now?
Yes. I fully endorse celebrities utilizing their platform to stand up for what's right and what's not. You know what I mean? Ever since the day Muhammad Ali took a stand against going to war, you know what I mean? He used his platform for that. And what it does is, see, I realize these celebrities, they inspire people all over the world. You have people that worship these people, put their pictures on the wall, wear their shirts, buy their merchandise, go to all their sporting events. So, and when they say things, they hang on every word. Just like whenever they say anything wrong, it becomes a meme. It becomes something that they show on all social media platforms everywhere. People make fun of it. If they do the crying face, remember the Michael Jordan crying face? That thing was everywhere for 4 years. Anytime anybody do anything, it's always there. And a lot of times it's negative. A lot of times, people twist things to fit their own narrative. So if I believe whenever a celebrity does something positive and for the people, and something that will uplift people and help or spread awareness, you know what I'm saying? I'm all for that. You know what I
All
mean?
right,
It's
all right.
helping to push the people in the right direction. Entertainment has a responsibility because you have power, like Spider-Man, Uncle Ben and Spider-Man. With power comes great responsibility.
I agree with you. I think they definitely do have that responsibility, but I think the bigger picture is that they have the responsibility of being part of the black community.
Mm,
They're black men and black women before anything. And I
Mm-hmm.
think they need to first realize that and say, listen, we're part of this community. My children are part of this community. My cousins that may not be rich or whatever is a part of this community. So I have a right to, not even a right, I have to act on the things that's going on. So as important it is that they are celebrities and everybody can see them, I think before that they have a right to, they have to act on everything because they're black men and women. That comes first to me.
well,
Yeah.
a quick follow up question on that, Super. How do you feel about celebrities that choose the, we all love Michael, but how do you feel about celebrities that say, listen, that's not my responsibility?
Yeah, that's Lil Wayne. Remember Lil Wayne said that.
Yeah,
Lil Wayne said that.
Like, I never experienced that in my lifetime, or so. I forgot. I forgot. I can't quote him, but he said something like, he never experienced these things. I'm like, well, listen, we're all young black men here, and I
Yeah.
tell people, when I tell my stories of my different, the different troubles that I've had in my life, the different encounters I've had with the police, the different, discriminations, the clutching, people clutching their purses. I'm a nice guy. I am a legitimately nice guy. And if there's anybody out there that, can call me out on that and thinks differently, then, please do. But what frustrates me is that I think that it's not just, while yes, the killing brings attention, the killing is not the primary issue that our community encounters. I think that it's, as a black man, no matter what I do, no matter what kind of no matter what I contribute, I am seen as a threat. And there's
Yep.
nothing I can do to change that. Nothing. And that affects so many different avenues of life. Something as simple as I give an example of my Airbnb, right?
Mm-hmm.
I subscribed to Airbnb. I took a nice little vacation with my family. I didn't put a picture up at first. So, we rented a house with my family down in Maryland. We had a great time. The guy gave me a 5-star review. He said I left the house cleaner than he got it, which is true, because, I'm not going to, mess somebody's house out. I had a couple more 5-star reviews on my record. I put a picture up of me and my wife on our wedding day. And I tried to book a room, and I think it was Miami. And all of a sudden, we're all booked up. Oh, we're all booked up. I got 7 or 8 straight rejections. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, in if you look at a picture of my wedding, in what way, how do I look like a threatening individual? Like, I'm like, if you look on my record, there's nothing but 5-star reviews. I take the picture off of me. I put a picture of my wife and my daughter up on my page. Guess what? Oh, sure, Mr. Vite. This, that, and the other Mr. Vite. My last name is Vite. So people don't know I'm black.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere along the, yeah.
But that goes back to your point, though, right? Like, was Lil Wayne said is not his problem or whatever. What did he say?
Well, Lil Wayne, I guess he's been born rich. He hasn't encountered the a lot of the issues that us, regular folks, encounter. But I guess he's got enough money to be above discrimination, at least in his mind, because you see, like, the Thabo Cephaloshes, the situation with Jeff Blake, where he was just tackled in the street, the tennis player. You look at, I'm ranting.
So then, what do you say to the celebrity that's afraid to get in that because he's afraid he'll lose status or what? What do you say to that celebrity?
I understand
that. I understand that a lot, because that's, listen, some of these celebrities, they take care of their entire family. I understand that. But that also comes to, again, a problem with us as a community. You know what? They can't fire the entire NFL. They can't fire the entire NBA. So if we all do it, they can't do it to all of us. Problem is, everybody's too scared. I mean, it also comes back to us as a people. Like, let's take Kaepernick. Kaepernick's a person that can say that he wasn't directly affected by what's going on with police brutality and all this stuff, but that man put his job on the line. That man put his job on the line, and you couldn't even get, and pardon my French, but these lazy niggas to not even stop watching football for this man. You couldn't even pause to watch football. We had people back in the day that walked to work would refuse to get on the bus and walk to work. We didn't even ask for that. We asked you to stop watching football, and people couldn't even do that. Our problem is us before anything. Like, we got to fix us. Like, we want our celebrities to do this, we want that, but then we won't support them. What are we gonna do? We still giving our money right there, giving them the ratings. No, well, I gotta watch football. I gotta do that. Why? Why you gotta do that? Which one's more important?
Yeah, facts. Without unity, we can't get anything done. You know, I mean, what did Dr. Umar Johnson said something about that? Like, right now, he said that there could never be another Dr. Martin Luther King right now, because too many individualistic egos. Too many people want to do this and do that and do the third, but they don't want to come together and do anything. People too busy worried about their pockets and not thinking about what's right and what needs to be done. So if we come together, like the NBA did, we can get things done. Then that makes a statement, okay? Now they're losing money because we all coming together collectively.
So let me ask you, I ask this question all the time to various people, various answers. So do you, like, I'm a person that believes, I believe in the better of us always. I believe hope that we can always be better and we can overcome. But, you know, as we go on and we see, like, every day conditions, like, you guys believe that it will ever change?
Well, listen. It starts with acknowledgement. Like, there's a large segment of this country that thinks all black people are criminals.
Yeah.
There's a large segment of this country that cannot understand that the primary difference between, you know, me and my white friends. I say this all the time. The main difference between me and my white friends are that as a white man or woman, you can avoid the police by simply not partaking in illegal activities.
Mm-hmm.
As a black man, we all know that not partaking in illegal activities will not preclude you from being harassed by the police. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke weed. I don't even smoke cigarettes. I have had my car searched dozens of times, like I'm some kind of drug kingpin. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? No one can answer. I ask people, I'm like, have you ever had your car searched? Is it my face? Do I look like a drug dealer?
Mm-hmm.
I do not understand, because I don't even smoke. And I know a lot. Before we became really acceptable like that, y'all was still out there smoking. Everybody around me is smoking. I'm like, yo, why am I getting stopped? So, I mean, it starts with acknowledgement. If we can't even get a majority of this country to acknowledge that there's a problem, then no, there won't be change. If you look at the civil rights movement, a lot of that, honestly, it took white people being out there getting beat in the street with us. That was embarrassing to the country. Other countries were looking at us, the land of the free, on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, a lot of those guys are still alive too. Like,
yeah, I know.
And they still in positions of power. Like, they still control things. So as long as we still got the old guard in there, no, we won't have any change. You know?
And I mean, it's hard to get change anyway, you know, like you said, just to piggyback on what you said. How could you get change if they're not even noticing a problem? You know, Malcolm X said that, you know, you got a knife in my back, and, you know, you tell me that it's progress. You pull out a little bit and tell me it's progress. It's still a knife in my back. And America doesn't even want to notice that there's a knife in my back. So how is there any type of progress happening when you're not even saying that there's anything there? So I think that's the first step of anything is acknowledgement. But to take it to I guess a deeper or a different level is they don't want us here. You know, we're fighting for something in a place that doesn't want us here. This place was built we weren't in mind when this place was being built. When all this stuff was being done, we weren't even a factor in it. So we're asking for a place in a system, and the system was never built for us. The only thing that can happen is we build our own system, because this system is not built for us. So it's like we're looking for placement in this system that was not built for us at all.
I understand that, but historically speaking,
So, Waldo, I got a question.
whenever we build our own,
all right, go ahead.
it doesn't go well.
It doesn't go well because of
Black
them,
Wall
not
Street.
because of us.
Because of them. Yes.
Because of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes. Historically,
Definitely.
whenever there are thriving Black communities, it historically has not gone well.
Agreed.
So,
and that's the reason what puts us back so far is that fear. So it's that fear of, we build something, they're going to take it away from us. That fear that we have, but that shouldn't stop us. That shouldn't stop us.
Is that fear unwarranted?
Oh, it's a legitimate fear. Black Wall Street.
You got to learn from history.
Well, history shows that they came in and they will take it away from us, because they know that if we can build this on our own, the next step is to the top. Like, it won't take long. So, but at one moment, what are we going to do? We're just going to stay down there with their foot on our neck the entire time? Like, at one moment, we got to do something. We're not going to just keep allowing this. We have to build our own, because we're in a system that is not built for us.
And what do you say to the point that Doc Rivers brought up, that like we're forgiving as a people, and why do we keep loving a country that doesn't love us? You gotta say to that.
It's true.
Yeah. Why do we stand for the national anthem? I mean, we should all of us should straight up collectively keep taking knees.
No matter what the narrative, it'll be deflected. When you look at Black people in this country, just look at the military, for example. It's USA. It's we love the troops, we love the soldiers. What about the Black soldiers? The Black soldiers, we fought in every war that this country has ever had. Mostly all of those, we were not given the rights that we fought for. Let's take World War I, for example. Black soldiers coming home were hung in their uniforms to prevent them from gaining, a degree of self. And they wanted to call them before they, were rising up and asking for the same liberties that they were fighting for. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating because
no matter what, like, you guys also got to realize that the relationship with America, or let's say the dominant society, when it comes to Black people, the dominant society treats us like a dog, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm not saying this I'm saying this for you to understand the relationship with a dog. And I don't know if you guys are dog owners, but we love our dogs, don't we? I love my dog. I pet my dog. I feed my dog. Is my dog sitting at the table with me to eat? Hell no. If something was to happen and I had to choose between my dog and my kid, that dog is gone. Does that dog go outside and do what that's how we're treated? They love us, of course, but we will never be on that level, and they don't want us on that level at all. So we will always be that way, and we will always get that treatment from them in this system. Within this system, that's what it will always be. We can't measure up to them in their own system, because they built our system on our backs. So how could the person that I'm building the system on is now going to stand up and rise in my system? It's not going to happen. It's not.
Y'all remember the Oscars? What happened? The whole whiteout type.
I don't watch award shows.
Okay, well, basically, Russell Simmons, I believe it was Russell Simmons. He created his own award show for us. Now, it was rinky-dink and it was cheesy. It was whack as hell. But the idea was right. In order for us we need to stop asking them to let us sit at their table and we just need to build our own. You know, yeah, it didn't work out.
But what is that going to take?
His
Yo, rejoin. Yeah, rejoin. Hold on, I'm gonna send you an invite. Hold on a second. Just a little technical difficulty with the Zoom. It's always something different. Hold on a second. We're getting everybody back in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with Zoom, but Zoom said, "Hold on a second."
Zoom said, "Listen, enough with all that black positivity."
Yeah, you see that? Zoom heard a little bit of black positivity and told us to sit down somewhere for a second.
Yeah. What in the world just happened?
I think Zoom was like, "Hey, y'all cut that out." But we're still live. We're still live. We're just waiting for Super to come back in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we still live. Was that everybody that got booted?
Yeah, I got booted too.
Hold on. Squeeze foot. Hold up.
Yo, Dre, you froze?
Nah, I'm right here.
All
You
right.
see me? Yeah.
I thought they started playing some 2K over there.
So what was you saying? What was you saying right before the freeze?
I don't know what I was saying, man. I lost it when we went dark.
I was saying, how do we accomplish that? Like, if you were saying, we have to have our own, and I was saying, like, is that even feasible? Like, how can we even do that?
Yeah, now that's the question right there.
That's the realest question, right?
Because honestly, we got a lot of our money is tied into their businesses, and they have money. You know what we need to do? What everybody's been trying to do all along. We need to take our money out of their institutions and put them in black-owned institutions. We need to start putting all our money together. What? People come to this country do that all the time. Whenever they come to get grocery stores, and like the thing is, the family don't get a house. They actually sleep in the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? And
but see, one of the problems with our community is we have this, crabs in a barrel mentality. It's not everybody, but a large majority just they don't care as long as they get theirs. And it's frustrating.
Yeah.
And the sad part about it is it comes off as when you have these conversations, it comes off as hate speech, or people view it as you hate other. Nah, it's frustrating. It
Yeah.
is really, really frustrating. And I was telling, I was having a conversation with my wife. And I'm like, listen, it's not just nobody likes us.
Yeah.
Africans, West Indians,
We're taught to hate
Hispanics,
ourselves.
and even amongst our own community. I think in this country, we have to be the most hated demographic there is. I remember working overnight, and I was talking. We had a lot of West Indians working overnight, and I remember somebody told me like, "You people don't have any culture."
Oh.
Yo, Ronald, you gotta let me in.
Oh yeah.
He's like, "You people don't have any culture." He's like, "You black people are lazy. That's why I don't like you."
Yo,
I'm like,
getting a lot of feedback. Yo,
What you say? Trey?
I'm sorry, my screen keeps going black while John's talking. Like it keeps like showing a.
No, I think we're just getting feedback off of Super's mic while he's trying to join.
I think I'm good now. Should be good.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And I was just saying that our community, we've got things that we got to work on internally.
That's the
because
key. Before we move, like our mindset got to be right. So
I agree with that.
If y'all don't mind, I want to kick this discussion up a notch.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it.
So my views on voting, the presidential votes is I guess frowned upon because of the fact that of what you just said. Our mindsets are not right, and why are we voting for the president? Like, why is that important right now? Why is that important in what we're doing? Everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon of we got to get rid of Trump. We got to do this. We got to do that. But our mindsets are not even right. Our minds are not there. We're skipping steps as a people, which we always.
And then look at what we're doing. We're subscribing by saying we're going to vote for the president of the government. We're subscribing to being a part of a system that don't want to be a part.
Don't want us.
That don't want us at all.
So
okay, I'll play devil's advocate.
So what's the solution?
No, hold on. I want John to play devil's advocate because this is the discussion that a lot of people are having. People are upset that some people won't vote and some people do. So
there are people that feel very strongly on this topic. This is my stance on it. Now, my opinion of the Donald has nothing to do with politics. Yeah. I've known what he was all about a long time ago, ever since, his housing discrimination case way back in the 80s or the 90s. With Donald, the thing that concerned me the most was his cabinet. When his cabinet came in, I saw Jeff Sessions. I saw people that were going to wreck a lot of the things that, especially like, let's look at Jeff Sessions, for example. I know he's fallen out with Donald at this point in time, but his first order of business when he came in is like, oh, these internal investigations that the Department of Justice is doing into these police departments, let's kill all that. That's done. If you remember, prior to Trump, there were investigations into these police departments, and they were finding out that a lot of these cops, as we know, are racist. Like these investigations were happening. That got deaded as soon as Jeff Sessions got into office. So I think there are, to a certain degree, I understand what you're saying about, the taking the lesser of two evils is a bad mentality, but
the worst.
Donald has things and I didn't feel this way about previous presidents. Like, let's take McCain for example. I didn't hate McCain. I didn't agree with some of his stuff, but I didn't have the vitriol. I didn't believe he was trying to burn our communities to the ground.
Yeah.
I look at Donald and some of the decisions, some of the people that he's brought in are just real bad. When I see the KKK dancing in the street, I have to ask myself why. When they're literally celebrating, when they're throwing this man up on their website. I went on the KKK website after the election. Big picture of Donald. This is the greatest day for white. Why? Why is this the greatest day for? I have to take note of that. Like that's something that I took notice of after the last election, and I'm like, Now this has never happened before. We've had elections in the past, but I've never seen that. So that's why I think in this election in particular, it's important to remove that. Now, will it remove everything? No. We'll still, for a very long time in this country, it became socially unacceptable to be outwardly racist. That seems to have regressed quite a bit over the last couple of years.
I'm gonna be honest. I like that. I like to know where my snakes are.
I agree.
For me.
Yeah.
So my thing is that I understand that, but as Black people, again, our problem is that we're too forward. How do I want to say? We want to be a part of the dominant society so much that we think that when we vote, it's going to fix stuff. Like,
do you think we want to be a part of the dominant society because we want to be
them,
not them, or you're in control of it, or
no.
Or...
I understand what you're saying, but I coming from my perspective, I don't want to be anything but me. But I see what you're saying, but I have my reasons, and my reasons aren't just blindly following, a party.
And I hear you, but the problem is the majority people are. Majority of people are your lesser of two evil peoples. Your other people are, we need to get Donald Trump out, right? So the problem is that, first of all, that is to me is the most ridiculous reason to vote is the lesser of two evils. But the problem is that we're skipping steps. And let me finish what I was saying. We're skipping steps. So what we're doing is that we're not even taking care of our communities, right? We have people that will sit on a 6-hour line to vote for the president, but your child's own school budget has failed. Uniondale, where their budget failed the first time. The only one in Long Island, but on your Facebook, and I'm not saying you, I mean people, it'll say a big sticker, I voted. You have a problem. You're not.
I agree with you on that one.
Skipping steps. Who cares? We have dealt with so many presidents. We've been fine. Things are gonna go. It is what it is. We need to make sure we have communities right now where you can't even walk to the place to go vote. You might get shot. And you're worried about voting for the president. Fix your community. Fix this first. Now, the other side of this is, we can do both. But the truth is, we're not. We're not going to do both. The majority of us are not going to go vote for the president and vote for the school board. They're not, because they don't care. That doesn't matter to them. And that's our problem. So I'm going to push you to vote for your stuff in the community. Come to the community meetings. Come to the elections in there, and local elections is what I will vote for. But anything else, let them do what they want. Let them do what they want up there. Doesn't matter.
I agree. And I saw that with Uniondale.
I think it's like a rock in a hard place. I believe that it all matters on both fronts. It really does. And it's like, what is the recourse if you don't?
The same that we've been doing now. So everyone loves to say that voting will fix things, but this don't sound familiar. We didn't come out 8 years ago, or a little bit more than 8 years ago, and vote. And we came out in droves, all Black people, to vote for someone.
Well, I do also believe that.
Right now.
I also believe that until you get rid of the electoral college, and
That's another thing.
until you get rid of the electoral college, the vote really
Yeah.
like what does your
Like
vote mean?
I'm moving down to Georgia, so
You
my
can win.
vote finally matters.
You can win. You can win. You can win a popular vote and lose an election. Like that's crazy.
Hold on, say what you said, John.
I said I'm moving down to Georgia on Friday, so my vote finally matters.
Whoa, wow. Okay.
New York is what it is. It's going to vote. It is what it is. When I lived in North Carolina, yeah, my vote mattered there. That was a battleground state back then.
Yeah.
And you remember what it was like come election time over there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But
it's just hard to me. It just is like I think we need to step back, and then even on top of all of this, like we have a problem with holding people accountable. So it's like we're gonna do all of this, and we don't hold anyone accountable. Okay, you want me to get out and vote Trump out? Let's do it. First day, that's achieved. He's out. Now what? Do we got a plan? Not one of these parties have a plan for Black America. Yet,
that I do agree.
They will take your vote with no problem. Democrats being the worst, and I'm not a Republican, but Democrats the worst because Black people have been giving them their vote forever. And what have we got back? Every person, or not every person, bill. Every nation have done something. That's a whole nother thing, right? Yeah. It's just crazy. We go out, we vote. Remember Clinton? Clinton was the best. He's going to take care of us. Clinton is responsible for putting away more of our Black men than anybody with crime 3 strike rules and all of that. Remember that?
Oh, I know.
People are not going to want to hear this. I know they're not going to want to hear this. But Obama, what did he like? Think about what he did for our community. What? You know what we were told? Well, he's the president for everyone, not just Black people, right? But Black people are the ones with the problems, right? Black people are ones. You know what else I heard? The president can't do whatever he wants, so he can't just do that. Have we not seen in the 4 years a man do whatever the fuck he want? So stop telling me these things. We're making excuses because we don't want to hold people accountable of what they're supposed to do. Why I say, doesn't matter whether you're Democrat or Republican, it's all on the same goddamn bird. This wing or this wing, all on the same bird. Leave that bird alone, dude. Worry about your community, and then we can move on to that. Right now, that's not even important. If he does get another 4 years, you think the country's going to end? Is that what's going to happen? I want to see that happen. The country's going to end. It's going to be over. No, but you know what I will tell you, which people hate that I say too, is that if you notice the amount of Black people or the Black community that has stuck together because of the open racist asshole we have in office, you're going to tell me you don't see that? More Black businesses have opened. More people support Black businesses. More podcasts like this, where we as Black men are talking about stuff. This shit wasn't going on with Obama. Why? Because Black people said, Obama's in. Hands up, let's lay back. We back to sleep. When we have someone like him in, we have no choice but to work with each other. So leave his ass there. If that's going to make us work together, I hate the way it sounds, but if that's going to make us work together and get our shit together, leave his ass there. Who gives a shit?
Wow. That's profound.
But it's true. Wow. Like if you really look at it, look at that. Look at how many
times
basically
you're saying use the devil as in front of us to fuel us to get rid of him, to do better.
To do better, because we got no choice. We got to open races. We got people like this kid running around shooting people and doing whatever he want. We got no choice but to be there. I got to rely on my brother now. So when I'm there, I got to. I have no choice. I can't argue with you because they're trying to kill us.
Mm-hmm. He's opening our eyes to what needs to be done. I get what you're saying. You're saying keep the devil, keep the devil in the office so we can come together and build our own heaven. You know what I mean?
That's my look at the whole thing, because I look like what is going to be the difference? Do we know even look at Biden, let's look at him, this is what we're going to vote for. What do you think is going to happen different? There still is no plan for us. There's nothing. So we're voting for him, and then what? There's still no plan for us. We're still going to have the same issues. We're still going to have everything else. They don't even take us serious. Biden sat down and talked with Cardi B. They don't even take us serious, yo. Why are we wasting our time with these people?
Yeah.
Stop playing with them. And if
Yeah.
we are gonna play in their system, then we need to act. We need to act accordingly. You want our vote? We want this. You want our vote? We want this. But we can't do that because our minds ain't right.
Basically going to them with a bargaining table, like, all right, bet you want this from us, we need this from you, and until we get this from you, we're not stepping to the table. Period.
Exactly. But the problem is, again, it's steps. Our minds are not ready for that. Our minds are not ready for that to be on the same page. So
Yeah.
we got to first work on our communities and get our communities set. That'll start getting us on the right page.
But how do you? But all right, so even if we vote in our communities and stuff like that, how do you get your communities on par when you have higher legislation that can basically keep your community in the rut, regardless of your community vote?
So I think the first thing is if we're in our communities and we're working all together, agreed. Because some people will, and it is the truth that, things that go on up top there and us voting for the president and stuff like that, that's where we get our money from, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our community may not get this money if we don't vote in the right person, if we don't do this, right? Mm-hmm. That's fine. But let's just take our community, let's just take Uniondale for an example. Mm-hmm. Middle class, everybody got money there. We all got money. If you look at the amount of money that black people,
I think one time I seen this. One time I seen a statistic that Uniondale is one of the wealthiest black communities in the country. Period.
Just the black nation, the amount of money that black Americans have is insane. If we wanted to do it, we can do it. It's just the fact
live in
that we
Roosevelt.
Gotta get our mindset.
I live in Roosevelt, which is, as far as school districts, about, as bottom as it can be on Long Island. I'm going down south. I'm taking my budget. I'm doing my budget down in Georgia, and I'm like, man, what have I been doing up in New York?
Yo, I'm on the
podcast. I'm like,
what
man,
part of Georgia you moving to? What part of Georgia?
Powder Springs, right outside of Atlanta.
So it's funny because I just got pre-approved for a mortgage in Georgia.
All right, that's
actually looking to go. We were looking in McDonough, Fayetteville, and a couple other places like that. So it's funny you say that because we are looking for that.
That's cheaper than Powder Springs, so yeah, you'll be pleasantly surprised. That's like close to where I am right now.
Righteous Ronan's out there now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. And a lot of things that I also do feel is that this generation is almost a dub. Like it's almost done. Our minds, all of us, were all over the place.
You mean right this generation as in our generation?
As in our generation, our minds are all over the place. We need to focus on our kids. We need to get their minds on right because they're going to make the initial change that will make the biggest change. Because right now we're all over the place. Like we like people are all, this person, you go on Facebook, you see this one feels this way, this one feels this way. Our generation is kind of gone, man.
And our generation, to be honest with you, has been through so much. Look how much our generation has been through over years. We've went through all different kind of changes, from technological changes to social changes. Like our generation has been through a lot. Not saying that any other generation hasn't, but look at what our generation literally has been through.
We were the ones that came after Jim Crow. We were the ones that, we heard about the troubles that our parents went through, but ours, like you said earlier, Suba, that's when things kind of, when racism went quiet.
Mm-hmm. Our parents, yeah. I don't want to blame them, but our parents, they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball because they came from a place where their parents was teaching them how you got to fight, you got to do this. And as things progressed, and you see my air quotes, they got laxed. So they taught us to be lax. We're here, we're good. And that was the problem, that they got laxed. And then we just picked that up too. We forgot that we still in this system that they don't want us in. And I think that was part of the problem. So I don't want to blame them, but I do want to say that, they dropped the ball on that, and I think that's where we need to pick up the ball.
And also,
how is
back then there were no camera phones. Like, for all the things that were going on in society, there wasn't nobody right out there filming it.
The only thing that camera phones did was bring the bullshit to the front. That's all it
that's
is.
what I'm saying.
But
before
really,
that,
what
you
has
could
it
hide
done?
it.
Yeah,
Cops could hide it. There were no body cams.
you forget Rodney King? That was out there in the front, and what did that change? Nothing.
Yeah, that's true. But see, the thing is, that was an
I think what Rodney
isolated
King was
incident.
one of the first few police brutalities that was filmed out there, right? Like, and that didn't. What did that change?
But it was an isolated incident versus now everyone has a camera phone, so there's an incident every other day. Rodney
And it
King,
still ain't changed nothing.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because we're having the same rioting conversations.
Yo,
Like,
we
oh,
just
why
had
are
a
you
man.
destroying?
We just had a man literally kneeled on and choked out for 8 minutes and 40-something seconds.
George Floyd.
And not even, 4 months ago. And literally, a few days ago, another police officer, white police officer, shoot somebody in the back 7 times.
Arbery? Was it Ahmaud Arbery?
No,
it's Jacob Blake.
Oh, Jacob Blake.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Let alone the police officers that killed Breonna Taylor still haven't been even arrested.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I'm saying, all this was going on back then during the time of Rodney King. It's just okay, everybody didn't have no camera phone. So this has existed, but I'm going back to Chris's point, that like we got lax because it wasn't in the public eye. The media wasn't everywhere. Like people.
Oh yeah, I say that.
Tom, Dick, and Harry on every street.
We got
media.
We got a comment that came in chat from Victoria Hope, and she says, "Truth is, there's Truth is, there are a plethora of white people who are willing to support because they can't stand Trump, but we need to set the stage first."
What was that question?
It was like, it wasn't a question, it was a statement. She said, there's a plethora of white people that were willing to support our cause, but she said, but we need to set the stage first.
Yeah, but that's one of the problems. And Michael Mack said that, when he was doing his. It's not about, like, it's nice that they want to help, but the problem is when you get help from them, I'm not relying on you. I need to rely on the people that look like me. I gotta trust me first.
Let me ask you, do you think that they will ever understand your plight, even though they want to help?
No. How can you?
You can't understand it. No. I mean, you can sympathize with it.
I was gonna say,
can't. Yeah.
You can sympathize.
I can't understand what it's like to be a refugee from war. I can't understand what it's like to come from a war-torn country where I gotta take my family and run to try to, I sympathize with these people, but I don't understand it. I never lived it. I never will. I don't know what it's like to be an immigrant. I don't know, what it's like looking over my shoulder if I'm illegal. It's just not something I can place myself in, but I can sympathize with it.
That's a lesson to everybody out here. You watch it in Facebook world. Stop arguing with white folk about our issues because they don't know what it's like to be you. Half the time, a lot of people that's putting those All Lives Matter banners up, you can click on their profile page and they don't look like me and you. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm just saying,
another problem that we have. No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna say that's another problem that we have is that we want to talk so much and we want to go on there and go against each other. Listen, I know for a fact that sometimes that black man, that black woman is wrong, but you know what? When in mixed company, I got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Everybody else do that. Do you see anybody else doing that? Do you see, no matter what happens in the Jewish community, no matter how many things happen, did you see anybody on Facebook that was Jewish talking about Harvey Weinstein? Did you see that? No. He was clearly wrong. We know he was wrong. But do you see them? Only us. We was on there like, nah, I'm not supporting R. Kelly. Nah, because he's this, that. Listen, I know that man is wrong. I don't have to listen to his music. I don't got to buy it. I got children. So you sick bastard, I want to do that. But I don't need to be talking in mixed company about that. Be quiet.
That's a whole nother conversation.
You're right. It is a whole nother conversation.
Our business.
There you go. But we don't get that. But and not even just the
But
old.
that's another systematic thing, like where we don't
You
we,
took
we
the words
don't
out of my
we
mouth.
don't we don't protect our own in no shape, way, or form.
You took the words out of my mouth. Like, as much as we're saying this is a problem with Black people, this was what was taught to us.
Yeah, because
Remember,
we've always had to
years,
compete
400
against
years.
one another
Yeah, 400
for
years
whatever
of it.
position.
Think about this. Our parents was out there getting sprayed with hoses and stuff like that. This just happened. This ain't gonna take, this happened 50 years ago, 60 years ago. It ain't gonna take a couple of decades to fix the
Yeah.
mental, chains that they have on us. It's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take our
Also, the
kids.
economic
They
and,
still
like,
do. My
the
father
housing
said,
discrimination and redlining and these things that absolutely wrecked our communities. It has such long lasting effects, but we can't even get people to acknowledge that there's a problem.
So then that goes back to what I asked before. Like, do you honestly feel like you'll ever get over that hump, or get over that hurdle?
I think that it's
We
it's,
have
it's in the
to.
children's. It's in the
My,
children. Yeah.
my, listen, my kids are gonna make it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
Yeah.
what's necessary for my family, and I think there's enough. There's enough people. Like, I live in Roosevelt. Roosevelt ain't no sunshines and rainbows. But I go to school on that first day. You know what I see? I see nothing but families that want the best for their children.
That's right.
Now, if we could take that energy and somehow channel it into more productive things in our community, then yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, we would be in a much better position. But somewhere along the line, I don't know. We can't decide on things. We're not unified in any way, shape, or form.
And that's going to take our children. What we're doing, what you're doing, being there on that first day, that's changing your children's minds.
Yo,
As much as
I think you're 100% right when you say that, because it's like, just look at the demographic of when we were coming up, the stereotype we used to hear. We were young, that black fathers aren't around, and
Yeah.
what is a black father like? And I'm glad I was fortunate. I mean, look, this funny thing that there's 4 black men on this podcast right now, but I think all 4 of us. I wasn't raised with both my parents, but my father raised me. I know 2 of you, your mother and your father raised you. So it was funny that how they was banging that stereotype, like black people don't have fathers and third, but what was it?
Yeah.
I mean, it might have been true for some, but I don't know. There's a lot of y'all, like, we all grew up in we didn't know generation, but I know very few deadbeat dads.
Yeah, that's what I was telling somebody. I'm like, listen, I know a lot of black people. I know a lot of black men. I don't know that many black, deadbeat dads. I don't know if I can even rock with you if you're a deadbeat dad.
you're breaking
I
that
do.
cycle.
That's not acceptable, in my circles.
Yeah. Like, I got like 10 male cousins, and they like our age, around our age, either a little younger than us or a little older. And their fathers basically grew up in the 60s. And out of the 10, I'd say maybe 3 had good fathers.
But what about their children?
Their children, they take care of their children. Okay.
That's what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Saying, me, listen, I'm all about, even when I talk about police brutality now, I give stories of my life just for reference. I am no longer concerned about myself. I am concerned because I have a son. My son is 11. I don't know the magic age where he will start to be perceived as a threat, but that's coming soon. And I hope and pray that my son does not experience the same things that I had to go through in my life.
And you don't even have to just to him, like, our daughters are perceived as a threat and are at risk just as much as our sons are.
That is the truth.
Here's the thing though. Like, don't you think every good parent before you said the exact same thing? We've been talking about the same thing for 400 years. For hundreds of years, we've all talked
about. What I will say, that's why I appreciate the stuff that's going on now. Yeah. I appreciate NBA play because, listen, Will it change? Maybe, but at least you can't ignore it right now.
Yeah, because it's everywhere.
You can't ignore it. Even my because I don't unfriend people because I like seeing what people are thinking. I've got just some hateful just stuff spewing on this, that, and the other NBA players. I'm like, okay, they've accomplished their goal. They're getting to people. They're ruffling some feathers. Listen, acknowledgement is the first step. If you can't get people to acknowledge that there's a problem, then nothing's going to get fixed. And listen, my son is growing up faster every day. I coach Pee Wee football, and I look at my boys, and I'm like, man, a lot of their home situations are messed up. I'm like, I look at the boys in the community. We can only do so much with them. I only have them for a couple of hours, here or there, but they're not being set up for success. I worry about them growing up into men.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, as men, we, especially as black men, it's our responsibility and our duty to, mentor and be a part of our community, give back to our community. Because I know me growing up, when I was out in Wyandanch, there were a lot of people that were important and vital to my success as a man, going on black college tours. I was taken on a black college tour in 10th grade. That changed my life.
Okay, so are we going to talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse situation? What do you think?
Listen. He went out.
I've had this discussion all day long.
Yeah, he went out looking for what he was looking for, and he got it. As a man, if I want to go and get in a fight in the club, I know what to do in order to go and get in a fight in the club.
Mm. Chris, what do you think about this?
I think my angle with this whole thing is not the incident itself, but the propaganda and stuff that's coming after the incident. The fact that a lot of people, without research, don't even know that it was an altercation between 4 white men.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even know that the people that were shot and killed were white. They don't know that. I think I must have talked to like 30 people today, and of the 30, it had to be at least 20 something of them didn't even know that black people were involved.
20 people.
Because
the hashtag.
Yeah, because that they just saying, oh, the white shooter shot up a peaceful protest.
But I guess. And it's funny coming from me right now because I'm usually always the black or white person, but why does that matter?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
That's why
it doesn't matter in this moment. It doesn't matter because this was more of it was a protest for us for what was going on. And if they was there, they got that. To me, is making a stance to show that y'all gonna come out here and we gonna shoot you. That's what that was.
Like, yo,
guess who's down with it? The police. We right with it.
Wow.
Like I was saying earlier, I remember seeing KKK marches in North Carolina during election time. What would happen if I decided to get in my car, go buy myself an AR, drive down to Charlotte, and walk out into the middle of a KKK rally?
All of us know.
You know what's funny?
All of us know
who would have shot you? It wouldn't have been KKK that would have shot you. You know who would have shot you?
Police would have shot you.
It would have been the damn police.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We know that.
Matter of fact, you wouldn't have got the Charlotte. You would have walked out of your door here in New York, and they would have shot you where you stood when you were carrying that gun.
And half of the people on my timeline are pointing out the fact that the police, how they handled the shooter more so than what actually happened. At least that's from what I've seen. But I don't listen. I personally I believe that boy, because he wasn't even a man yet. He went out looking for a fight, and he found it. And whatever happens in the course of that fight, you got to live with the consequences. I was talking to my wife the other day. I'm like, as men, we filter ourselves to a certain degree because we realize that, there's only a certain point that you can go with another man before an altercation will take place.
Mm-hmm.
We always have an internal kind of cost risk assessment of, is this worth it? That boy, he knew what he wanted to do. That wasn't his community he was trying to protect. He went looking for a fight and he found it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you have to live with the consequences of your actions and your decisions.
Does he really?
Authorizes a 17-year-old.
He should.
He should, but let's see what really happens, because
I agree.
The video that Ronald sent me is painting him as the person that was trying to defend himself. He was trying to defend himself from these people doing all of this. So is he really going to be held accountable for killing people, black or white? He's not. I mean,
we'll see.
It just is what it is. Like that. Just so you know, we got 1 minute left before it shuts off again.
All right. Listen.
No, I don't know why he's doing that.
You know what? This is a good point at this point right now. I appreciate you coming on, Chris. I'm sure we're going to have you on again.
Yes, sir.
Shout out your social media.
I wasn't saying for you to stop. I was just telling you it was going to shut off because it's saying remaining minutes.
I got me personally. I got to get back to this moving. I got a house full of, I'm trying to get out of here in the next couple of days. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But this was good. This was good. I got a couple more things on my mind, but we're gonna save that for another conversation. Great. Shout out your TV show before we go.
Okay. MTV's Revenge Prank. I'll let you know when I aired my debut. Television debut was tonight at 9 p.m.
And it was great.
Thanks, Ronald. And we'll talk about it. Next time it comes on, I'll let y'all know ahead of time so you can watch, check me out before we come on here. With all our conversations, aren't going to be like one note. We're going to have several different types of discussions. So, and one of them is entertainment. So we'll definitely talk about it.
Well, Chris brought up a couple of good points, and there's a couple of
anytime, man. I'm ready to come back.
There's a couple of separate conversations that we can have.
Yeah, man, we got some stuff to still talk about, man. Y'all let me know, man.
Yeah, and I want them to know Chris' opinion so bad about